Okay, 2 minutes. Don't, you're dead. Oh wait, you're alive. Now live on YouTube. Can't believe I have as many subscribers as I do. I'm kind of blown away.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back. Hope you are doing well. In our last video, we went over how to extract all of our API specific code.
Damn, man, I can't wait till I get rich enough to... What the fuck? What did I drink? Fluff. The hell? Yeah, I was saying, I can't wait until I get rich enough to buy my own house and have a freaking charger for my car. That'd be awesome. It's gonna be awesome! Bum, 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 bum. All right, refresh my water. You know what I'm wondering? Oh, thank you, Eklavia. Dude, how did you get that loading symbol there? That's cool. It's actually really cool. I love it. Oh my god, that's so dangerous. Holy shit, my water's over near the laptop. No, 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 no. No way.
Code or all of our networking code into a service class and then implement that inside of our view model. So it was a really nice refactor. We separated our concerns and our view model is way cleaner and our overall project is now way cleaner. So what I want us to do in this video is keep building off of that architecture and go over how we can start to fetch all of these coins here and introduce some more advanced error handling and some more.
Yes, sorta. I mean, yeah, that's part of what I'm doing, but today I'm mainly just trying to get through this goddamn video and understand all the messages he's trying to portray in uh in this tutorial so I can like implement it myself. And yeah, I've got what have I been working on here? I've got a crypto. Yeah, I've got a crypto tracker app, and I've also got a I'm working on a weather app for my portfolio too. So I've got weather API working sort of, but it's like there's more that I need to do and some stuff I don't understand. Um which I've been having AI help me out a bit with that. Dude, seriously, how did you get that loading symbol emoji? Is that part of the thing here? Is that part of the emojis available? I never realized. No, it's not, right? I don't know where you got that. Maybe it is and I can't see it. I don't know. Is it part of it? No, right? The cool thing is there's still a ton of emojis you can use. But yeah, I've only got one at the moment for my memberships. For my memberships. Chat. Oh, really? I did not know that. I have no idea where it is. Oh, there it is. Oh, that's actually so good. I like it. I'm gonna pin that. It's fun. Actually, I'm gonna pin I'll pin your message. Wait, can I not? Hold on. Oh yeah, I can. Yeah, there you go. um, yeah, I really like these projects. They're fun. They're some of them are complicated though, but fun to learn, definitely. Web apps escape me. I cannot figure out web apps. I don't want to either. But that's fine. Happy you doing what you're doing. Who try out new things with me? Yeah, pretty much. I love creating the community here. I mean, I'm not gonna try everything new. If you suggest me something in Swift to do, yeah, for sure. But I don't. I honestly, I'll be honest, I don't really stray from Swift, and I do that purposely so I make sure I make the most progress on one language so I can be successful in this language too. So, yeah. But yeah, like I feel like everyone's welcome here because um languages are all very similar,
Advanced like JSON parsing and decoding and stuff before we get into all of our async await functionality. So I'm just going to pull up the API documentation one more time, guys. And we're going to be reaching out to a different endpoint to fetch all of this stuff. So once again, make sure you go over to coingecko.com and hit the API docs. We're going to go to this coins section and we're going to go to coins/markets. So I want you guys to just hit try it out, and we're going to see all of the parameters that we need to pass in here to get our data back in this way. So you have to pass in the currency that you want. So we are going to be looking at US dollars, but you guys could go euros, Japanese yen, whatever you want. We don't need IDs or category. We are going to be fetching this in a sort order of market cap descending. So that's going to give us back the coins in this order, right? The coins with the biggest market cap first, and then go all the way down. So you guys could do it another way if you want. Here's all the different options that are available to you. I'm just fetching 3 coins for now, so we can sort of just get an idea of what this JSON looks like. You can fetch up to 100. And this is going to help us paginate our data a little bit later on. So for now, we're just going to fetch 3. Page integer is going to be 1. This guy is going to be false. If you want, we can get the price change percentage. So this will give us back the price change over the last 24 hours in a percentage value. And then we're definitely going to want English, or at least I do, for our locale. So that's how all of our information is going to come back. It's going to come back in English. And then if you guys just go ahead and hit execute, once again, this amazing API is going to give us the URL endpoint that we need to reach out to with all of those parameters that we need.
I don't even know what the Swagger docs for API are. Haven't heard of them. But like, I don't know. I think does Postman even do Swift? I don't know. Is that like that's specifically for you, right?
To pass in. And this is the response body that we're going to get back. So you guys can see here, I'm getting back Bitcoin. It's coming back to me inside of an array. So I have an array of 3 coins here. Here's Ethereum and all of the data associated with Ethereum. And then, Tether, this guy right here. So this is just to get an idea of what our JSON body is going to look like, guys. So I want us to go ahead and implement a function to fetch all of these coins using this request URL that we have here, and see if we can get that data into our view model. And then we're going to go over how we can start to parse all of this stuff, because this is obviously way more data and information than we got back from just fetching the price of a single coin. So this process is going to be a lot different than what we did there. And we're going to see how we can get through all of this stuff and do it the right way, do it the professional way. So let's just go ahead and copy and paste this request URL, guys. Move this guy over, and we're going to go back to our
This you mean? Talking about this? Because this is CoinGecko. It's not or is this a specific type of thing that you're talking about? Because I didn't know there was a type of separate like specific API type thing. I just thought this was CoinGecko's API. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. That's interesting. That's news to me. Interesting. Interesting. Okay, so that's how you read that. That's why you read that.
professional way. So let's just go ahead and copy and paste this request URL, guys. Move this guy over, and we're going to go back to our coin data service. And we're going to create a function here called fetch coins. And Guys, we need to, later on, we're going to, pass all of the information we get here over to our view model. But for now, we just want to see if we can fetch this stuff successfully. So we're going to have our URL string. So let's see if we can make that first off. And this one is like really long, right? And we'll clean this up a little bit later. For now, let's just leave that as is. We could even URL string. So let's, create a, and we're going to go back to our coin data service. And we're going to create a function here called fetch coins. And guys, we need to, later on, we're going to, pass all of the information we get here over to our view model. But for now, we just want to see if we can fetch this stuff successfully. So we're going to have our URL string. So let's see if we can make that first off. And this one is like really long, right? And we'll clean this up a little bit later. For now, let's just leave that as is. We could even put this outside of the function if we want and make it private. I actually prefer to do it this way, and that's because we won't expose this URL string to any other components. It's private to this particular class. And now we can use it in any other function that we need. So then let's go ahead and construct our URL, guys. Very similar to what we did with our price function. We're just using a different endpoint. URL string, else return. And then we are just going to use our URL session.shared.data task with completion handler. And we're going to pass in that URL, hit enter on that block. And we're going to take a look at the data, the response, URL. So then let's go ahead and construct our URL, guys. Very similar to what we did with our price function. We're just using a different endpoint. URL string, else return.
Wait a second.
It's because we won't out of the. For now, let's just.
Oh shit. Yeah, sorry, I can. Sorry, I forgot to change it back. I was streaming before in my car. So hold on. Can I change that? Right now? Hold up, I'll change my bitrate. And I'll change. Oh, I can't. Hold on. I'll stop my stream and then I'll resume it real quick. I'll go back to 1080. One sec. Let's see if this works. BRB. Well, my display over here that you're looking at is only 1080, so it doesn't really matter, does it? I should be back. Can you see me? Can you hear me? Is it better than before? How we doing? Is it better? What? Wait. It's not though. Do you think it's maybe a thing to do with the how the stream is set up? Like if I do it if I started it if I start the damn thing in 720, it won't let the video thing do it? Okay, hold on. Here, I'll just one sec. I'll just quickly create a new one. No, this is Swift actually. Swift. This is Swift. Okay. All right, guys, I've set up a new stream here. I don't, is this a, how can I view the stream, actually? What the fuck was that? I just saw something crazy outside. What was it, some random white thing? Just go to my channel and live. Okay, yeah, here we go. So, okay. I am streaming via OBS Studio. I am. Okay, here's the link for the new one. If you guys want. Oh wait, it's 1080. Okay. No one click that then. Don't worry about it. I'm just gonna stay here if it's 1080 now. Awesome. Great news. Ignore that post then. Perfecto. Okie dokie. Where did you learn Swift? Was it from? Yes, it was. BSKD. It was from online free resources. 100%.
Leave that as is. You know, we could even put this outside of the function if we want and make it private. I actually prefer to any other components. It's private to this particular class, and now we can use it in any other function that we need. So then let's go ahead and construct our URL, guys. Very similar to what we did with our price function. We're just using a different endpoint. URL string, else return. And then we are just going to use our URL session.shared.data task with completion handler. And we're going to pass in that URL, hit enter on that block, and we're going to take a look at the data, the response, oops, and the error. And let's just go ahead and see if we can get the data and print it out, guys. So I'm going to just go ahead and say guard let data equal data else return, and we are going to get into how to handle our error and response stuff with all this in a little bit. I just want to see if we're getting this data back for now. And let's go ahead and see if we can just print it out as a string. So we can say let data as string equal string, and you guys are going to notice we can build a string from the data that we get back, pass in the data, and for the encoding we're going to say .utf8. And then let's just go ahead and say print debug coin data as string.
Dat.
So now, guys, let's go ahead and see if we can just call this function in our view model.
Did you mean to write data there?
So we're going to go here, and I am going to replace this, or just add a function rather, fetch coins, service.fetch coins. And let's replace this with fetch coins. And run our code. Ooh, build failed. I spelled data wrong. Let's run our code and see if we get back all of that nice crypto data. Ooh, and guess what we forgot to do? We forgot to say .resume. So this is, once again, that super annoying thing that we have to do with URL sessions. We are going to refactor our code in a little bit, guys, to make sure that we never forget to do that. But that's going to come a little bit later on. And lucky for us, when we get into the async await stuff, we don't have to do that. So let's go ahead and run this again.
I'm very much looking forward to the async await stuff. This is like pretty much the old stuff. Async await is the new stuff, and I'm excited to get into that because this is showing you how everything really works, I think, behind the scenes. But then when you look at the async await, it's like it's so much easier, more convenient.
Big ugly string of data, right? It's coming back to us in an array, which is good. That's what these square brackets denote. That means we are getting back a list of coins, and it's limited to 3 currently, right? So if you guys go and sort of dig through this URL string, we have the per page is equal to 3. If I change that to like 20 and run my code again, you guys are going to notice I get back 20 coins. And this is just a massive list of data, right? So this brings me to my next point, guys. You guys notice down here that we sort of manually parsed all of this information. And that's just something that's not going to be feasible here, right? So like there's a significant amount of parameters that we are going to have to work with for all of these coins, right? We got the ID, the symbol, the name, the image, market cap, current price. So if we wanted to get all of that data back, we would have to do the same thing we did here where we cast it as a dictionary and then we look at each individual value associated with each individual key in the dictionary. And that's just going to be really, really, really messy. So lucky for us, Swift has a way to make our lives a lot easier where they do all of the hard work for us underneath the hood, so to speak. So basically, guys, what we're going to do is make an object that is going to represent this coin. And within that object, we're going to use something called the decodable protocol to parse through all of this JSON data for us and set up our coin object. So if you guys are unfamiliar with object-oriented programming and what the heck I'm talking about right now, once again, I highly advise you to go and check out our Swift Fundamentals course, where we do a deeper dive into object-oriented programming and the benefits of it before you go any further with this. But if you guys are okay and comfortable with things like structs and classes, we're going to be okay here. So what we're going to do is go to our model folder, guys, and we are going to make a Swift file. And we're just going to call this coin. And we're going to make a struct here called coin. And it is going to conform to the codable protocol. And basically, guys, what we want to do is make all of the properties here that we care about that we want to use in our view model, or sorry, our overall data here that we're going to be displaying. So right now, all we have is like the coin name, the coin image, the market cap, and the coin abbreviation here, right? But you guys might want to add things like prices and stuff like that. So I'm just going to go ahead and show you what the coin model is going to look like here. So we're going to have an ID, which is a string, a symbol, which is a string, and a name, which is a string, current price.
Just need to check something real quickly. Okay. Yeah. Oops. Cool.
Which is a double.
So I've already actually done this
rank,
in my app. I've done this already.
which is an int.
This part here.
And that's going to do it for now.
So I'm seeing this done again,
can,
basically.
Oops, no comma there. That's my bad. We can add more properties as you guys see fit. And something that's interesting to note here, guys, is we don't have to use every single property that we're getting back from this list. We can pick and choose which ones we want to build our coin object here. And this is just what we're picking for now, right? So we have ID, symbol, name, and then somewhere in here you'll find current price, and somewhere in here you'll find market cap rank. For now, I actually want us to comment these two things out. We will come back to these in a little bit. What I want us to do now is just go back to our coin data service and see if we can construct our coins here using the JSON decoder that Swift gives us for free.
So this is interesting because I've actually already done this in my other one, but it's funny because I did a version, the older version, which was kind of what he showed us there, and then I've also I did the new version by myself, actually, um, with a bit of help with AI, but I've done it before, so I did it again with async await, and it works the same way. And it works really so much better. Excuse me, it's better and easier. But then, yeah, so he's, I guess, gonna do this again the exact same ways that I've done it. So I've already done this, but it's good to see it again for me because I can never get enough of
So make sure you
trying to understand what's going on here. Um, I forgot what was so interesting about this. It'll come back to me.
Make sure you guys just have ID, symbol, and name, and make sure they are all spelled correctly, or this is going to fail. So let's go back to this guy here, and let's see if we can parse this JSON into our coin object. So we don't need the data as the string anymore. We guys are just going to now say let coins equal JSON decoder dot decode, and it's going to ask us for the type we want it to decode all of that data into. So we want an array of coins, right? So we're going to go here and say square bracket coin, and then you have to say dot self from this data. And you guys are going to notice we get a little error.
So let me see. I'm gonna open up my crypto tracker app and compare that with what I have here. Um, let's see here. What do we got? Is is this working right now? Study. That's weird. Pre-screen watch. Pre-screen study. In study, we want the Safari to be like bigger than that. It's just invisible at the moment. Cheese. There we go. Put that down there. And then Xcode is not open for some reason, so I will put it up. There we are. So we've got Xcode showing. And we can see here, my coin data service here. What we've done, we let a decoder equal a JSON decoder. And we didn't tell it to decode here, but in my one, no, we didn't do that either. Oh yeah, here we did decoder.decode from the coin model that was thrown out of the async here from the data. And we converted it from snake case so we didn't have to do that later. So that's always fun. But this one's a bit different here. I did this, my tutorial master or whatever, not this guy, different guy, didn't do that because, well, maybe it didn't exist at the time that he did it. But this is the old way to do it. With the sync, I guess. I don't know. Async is async is much better, I think, and more efficient. Anyway, let's go back to here. Why is this small as well again? What's with this? Oh. Right, this would be even smaller because I mean we got full screen Xcode here, which we don't have active at the moment. So yeah, that's fine. What do you mean by async await is efficient? Well, if you take a look at this code here, I'll make this smaller and make this bigger. Xcode's a bit small there, I realize. If you take a look at this here, look at the so this is the non-async await version, and you've got to have the sync decode thing, coin subscription with network manager, all that stuff. And then in the view model, you also have to have this function here. And incorporate the sync, the store. But then you look at this mycoin. This is pretty much all you need for async to do the exact same thing. So this versus this. Wait, this and this versus this. So if we go to home view, just to make sure, we do have a little bit of oh no, it's an extension there. Let me look at my setup here. If I think there is a oh wait. There might be a little bit more, but like the syntax is a lot easier to understand and deal with. Is mainly what I mean. I think I have some stuff in the setup here. Yeah, so you just have to deal with the task in async, but that's super easy. Hey, big task. I'm good, actually. Getting back into the rhythm of things here. I've had a week. Exactly. Exactly. It doesn't have much boilerplate code, doesn't deal with that anymore. So, good for us. How's it going, big task? How are you doing? Oh, let's go back a little bit. Guard let data equal data. So make sure data, the new variable, equals this data, which is coming from here to make sure it has data in it. Sometimes, occasionally, things throw me off, like the way, like that. It just, I don't know why, it just throws me off sometimes. Pummeling me. Well, just pour yourself a nice big glass of lemon water or some hot coffee and rip through that thing. Oh, sorry, brother. Sorry, I went back to the. Forgot I went back to the other one. There we go. My bad.
This stuff. And then now let's go ahead and say print debug coins decoded coins. And let's see.
Wait, what? Print debug coins decoded coins. Oh yeah.
So I think we might need to actually wrap this inside of a do catch block, or we could just add an optional try.
I'm gonna try the lemon water. It sounds very healthy. It is. I just had a full glass of it. Get some more soon. But I've got a coffee on the side as well. I've got both ready to go.
And let's go ahead and make this a guard statement. So like I said, guys, if this try stuff is confusing, don't worry. We are going to do an in-depth breakdown of do, try, and catch statements to make this make more sense. But essentially, just understand that anytime you see try, it is going to say, hey, I'm going to try to do this, but something might go wrong. And that's why we are using an optional try, and we're using a guard statement to make sure that this works. And here inside of this, guys, we could just say print debug failed to decode coins return. So if this decode process fails, we're going to get this print statement. If it succeeds, we are going to get back
into guard data, making sure data destructive. No, my return. Yeah, it's coming from the data from the URL. So if the website doesn't return anything, then the variable won't have anything in it.
the coins that we have just decoded into our object. And I'm going to break that down a little further as well. Let's just go ahead and run our code one more time and see if this works. Okay, guys, so check that out. We have successfully decoded all of that data, and it constructs that coin object for us. So let me just dive a little deeper into that for those of you who might not understand what the decodable protocol is. Basically, guys, it's doing this process for us underneath the hood, right? So it's serializing that JSON object, and it's taking all of the keys and the values that it comes back from the
Here I want to hear this explanation again.
what the decodable protocol is. Basically, guys, it's doing this process for us underneath the hood, right? So it's serializing that JSON object, and it's taking all of the keys and the values that it comes back from this JSON data, and it's mapping it into this object here. So we only care about ID, symbol, and name, and it's just basically taking the JSON data that we get back and creating coins for us. And that's because we are decoding it as an array of coins here. So if you guys accidentally, didn't add those brackets or deleted it, you guys are going to notice that this decode fails. And yep, failed to decode coins. And that's because the JSON body came back as an array of data, and you're just trying to decode it into a single coin. So that's not going to work. So we'll do a deeper dive, like I said, into do, catch, and try statements a little later on in the course. I just want us to focus on how to solve the problem of mapping all of the massive JSON into an actual object for us to use. So now let's see how we can actually use that, guys. Let's imagine I wanted to just loop through these coins and print out some data about each one. So I could say for coin in coins, print coin. Let's actually do a debug. Coin ID is coin .id. So this is sort of the beauty of utilizing objects, guys. And this almost always goes hand in hand with networking, right? So let's see. Check that out. So we get the coin ID of each one of the coins we got back from our JSON. So the beautiful thing about using data objects is that we can now access all of the properties we care about through this dot notation, right? So we've taken all that raw JSON data, mapped it into an object that we can represent programmatically, and now I can say coin.id, coin.name, right? All of that good stuff. Let me remove this print statement so you guys can see how that looks. And you guys notice that now I have the coin name, right? I could change this to coin name instead. Right? So this is beautiful, right? This makes our data significantly easier to work with, and it makes it significantly easier for us to pass this information along to our view model. We're not just passing a bunch of random strings like we were here and doing all of this parsing ourselves. Now we can just pass this list of coin objects over to our view model so that we can ultimately display this in a list using SwiftUI, guys. So let's go ahead and see if we can do that now. And that's going to wrap it up for this video. In the next one, we were going to get more into like error handling and some additional stuff that we need before we can hop into the async await stuff. So let's go ahead and just create a completion here, guys. And it's going to be at escaping void.
Oops.
Like that. So after escaping, add 2 parentheses, arrow, void. And this is how we build a completion handler. And what do we want to give our view model? We want to give it an array of coins.
This thing is definitely new for me here.
For this video, in the next one, we were going to get more into like error handling and some additional stuff that we need before we can hop into the async await stuff. So let's go ahead and just create a completion here, guys. And it's going to be at escaping void, just like that. So after escaping, add 2 parentheses, arrow, void. And this is how we build a completion handler. And what do we want to give our view model? We want to give it an array of coins, right? So we're just going to go here and say completion with this array of coins. And then we can say completion coins, just like that. So now if we go back to our view model, we're going to get an error here because we have added a completion handler to this function. So just go ahead and delete that and say service.fetchCoins. And now you guys are going to notice that this completion handler gives us back an array of coins. So if I hit enter on it, guess what? Now I have access to the coins that I have fetched in my service. So I can say coins, and then let's just go ahead and say print. Let's actually add that print statement back in our view model. For coin in coins, print debug coin in view model is coin dot name. And let's go ahead and run this, guys, and see if that works. And check that out. We are successfully passing this data over through that completion handler from our service to our view model. So this is looking really, really, really good. Now, what I want us to do next is actually get this data showing up inside of our view. So basically, guys, we can delete all of these properties here, and I'm going to create a publish property for an array of coins. It's going to be an empty array. And here we can just go ahead and say self.coins equals coins. So now this is being published. And because we are updating our UI, guys, let's actually just go ahead and delete this fetch price function. We don't need that anymore. We need to make sure we're doing this on the main thread. So let's go ahead and say dispatch queue.main.async self.coins equals coins. Beautiful. Now let's just go over and see if we can build a quick list to display these coins, guys. So back in our, content view, we are going to replace this VStack here with a list, and we're going to say for each viewModel.coins coin in. And let's just go ahead and see if we can say text coin.name. All right. Let's see, what is going wrong here?
ID.
Okay, so coin needs to conform to identifiable. So let's go over to our coin guy. Lucky for us, we get an ID property already from our JSON. So we can go here and say identifiable. And now we conform to the identifiable protocol, so we can loop through this stuff using SwiftUI to display the information.
We have to set up.
Now, guys, let's go ahead and run this code, and we should see a list of coins showing up.
Okay.
And check that out. That is looking absolutely incredible, right? This is information that is coming back from our API. We're using a service to fetch that. We're handing it over to the view model. The view model is publishing those changes and updating that coins array, and now we have it over in our view. So really quickly, guys, just to do a quick recap on that architecture, the service is responsible for fetching the information from the API, and the service gives this to the view model. The view model receives that information from the service through this completion block or completion handler, and then we hop back on the main thread because we had to initialize that fetch on a background thread, and we say, hey, the coins here is going to be equal to the coins we get back from the service. So once again, this keeps our code super modular, makes it easy to
Let me hear that again.
really quick that coins array, and now we have it over in our view. So really quickly, guys, just to do a quick recap on that architecture, the service is responsible for fetching the information from the API, and the service gives this to the view model. The view model receives that information from the service through this completion block or completion handler, and then we hop back on the main thread because we had to initialize that fetch on a background thread, and we say, hey, the coins here is going to be equal to the coins we get back from the service. So once again, this keeps our code super modular, makes it easy to test, and keeps our code really clean as well. And we set this coins array, we publish that change, our view receives that update, loops through all of the data that we get back from our view model, and displays it in a list. So that's the foundation of how the MVVM architecture works, guys, using services and completion handlers. So this is all really coming together and looking really good. What I want us to do in the next video is go over how to implement some more concrete and more robust error handling so that if things go wrong, we can display that information to both the users and the developers working on the code. And then we're going to go over how to make our service a little bit more generic. And then we are going to go and get started with refactoring all of this stuff using async await. And this is really coming together, guys. This is giving you a really good insight as to how the pros create code to network and contact and communicate with APIs. I hope you guys are enjoying this so far. We'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Peace out.
Yes, we are enjoying it. And for a second, I'll show you what my crypto thing looks like at the moment, because IMO looks pretty cool. So look here. Let's go to the home view. We've got a coin thing already set up. We've done an okay amount on here. So it actually looks like everything is down. Like this is reality right now. Holy shit, it's all down? Oh my god, what's going on? Oh, IP is up. Wait, but what's going on with the market, guys? The hell? Yo, it wasn't like this before, when I was building this app. Is everything okay? Everything getting fucked up right now? Even Bitcoin is down 1%, which is a lot for Bitcoin, right? Holy shit, is it? Seriously, at 180K? For one Bitcoin? Are you kidding me? Bro. What? It's at 180K. You're kidding me. I remember when that was back when it was like 40K, 50K. Dude. Anyone have any money in Bitcoin? Look at this. You can swap to your portfolio. You can, well, you can't right now, but you'll be able to add like your favorites. Slide back to live prices, portfolios, live prices, how much holdings you have. Yeah, like that. See it?
Hope you are doing well. In our last video, we went over how to fetch all of these coins and display them in a list. So we're going to be continuing on with this. We're going to get into some more in-depth error handling in this video. And we're also going to be modifying our coin object struct a little bit to start things off. So if you guys go back to the model object, you'll notice that we only have 3 properties for our coin. We have the ID, the symbol, and the name. We commented out current price and market cap rank. So I want you guys to go ahead and uncomment these things and go ahead and run your code and see what happens. you guys are going to notice that we're not going to get any information back inside of our view. And you're going to see here that we got this handy little error message that said failed to decode coins. So why is that, guys? So during the decoding process, something is going wrong, and we need to try to figure out what that is. So if you guys bring back up your API documentation, you'll see things like the market cap rank is separated by these underscores, right? And so is market cap, so is current price. So pretty much any property that is more than one word is separated by an underscore. But you guys notice ID, symbol, and name are good to go. So just a quick recap on how the decodable protocol works. It looks for these keys and assigns the associated value to the property in your data object. So because we spelled ID, symbol, and name the exact same way it appears in the JSON body, it assigns these properties the values that are associated with those keys. But it's very important to understand that the spelling and the casing, as far as uppercase and lowercase, has to match up directly. So guys, if you were to change this to current underscore price and market cap, underscore rank, and have those all be lowercase, I believe this would solve those issues and give us back the data that we want, right? So yeah, that looks good. And that's because now these things match up exactly in terms of the spelling and the casing and the underscores with how it appears in the JSON body. But oftentimes in our code, we don't want properties to look like this, right? This is what's known as snake casing. We prefer camel casing as programmers. And camel casing is that concept of the first word being lowercase and each subsequent word in the parameter name being uppercase.
Subsequent.
So how do we accomplish this given that we have a mismatch in the keys that are coming back from our JSON body and the keys that we have inside of our struct? So
why am I yawning so much?
Has a fix for that, guys. We're gonna go
literally
ahead
running on coffee.
Enum
Well, no,
keys.
no, I'm not running on
So
coffee.
this
I'm
is
running on
enum
sleep
that we can
and
use
coffee.
to
So
specify the exact spelling of our coding keys and assign the properties values based on what's coming back from our JSON body. So we're gonna say string coding key.
Okay, so this is an old way to do it. Watch this. This is old.
Coding keys here.
This is boilerplate
say
junk.
Case ID, comma symbol, comma name. We don't have to assign these like a raw value because they match up directly with what's coming back. But this is where it gets interesting. So we're going to say case current price equals current underscore price. So guys, basically this is going to take our current price property and say, hey, this is what the value, or sorry, the key is going to look like in the JSON body.
You don't need this anymore.
Find the value and assign it
to
this current price.
Wouldn't anything that exists today currently that gets updated to an easier way to do it, wouldn't any of that be called boilerplate? Wouldn't it all be called boilerplate after it's been updated?
And now we can use the
All right, guys, I'm gonna have a poll for you in a second. All right, here we go. Hold on. Boilerplater. Boilerplater, sucker. Like, see you later. I'm gonna now, anything I see that gets updated, I'm gonna like just taunt it by telling you just got B plated, bitch. If I say BP, that doesn't sound right. It's definitely B plated.
How
Just
we
got B
want to
plated, son.
with that sort of camel casing there. And we're going to do the same thing for market cap rank.
When I talk like that, I always feel like I'm um channeling the spirit of Schmidt. Schmidt from New Girl. Anyone seen that? Freaking love that show.
Case market cap rank equals market underscore cap
Anyway, coding keys, you just got B plated, bitch.
underscore rank. And guys, that should be all we need to do. Now you guys should notice that if we were to run our code again, that we are going to get back all of our coins and everything is going to be looking good, right? And that's because we set up this coding keys enum, and you guys could do that for any other property you want. This is something that happens commonly with when you're working with APIs, guys. Oftentimes the stuff won't come back the exact way you want it to, so you have to implement some sort of structure here to decode the things the way you want it to, right? And use the keys the way they come back from the JSON data or the database or the server, the API, whatever it is, to map it to the correct name. So now that we've done that, guys, let's go ahead and see if we can make our UI look a little bit more like this. Let's see if we can utilize some of those new properties that we have, mainly just the market cap rank here. We're also going to add another property later on for the image, but like I said, that will come later. We have to go over how to fetch and download images and all of that good stuff. That's going to come later in the course. So let's go back to our content view, and instead of just text coin.name, let's
You know
make
what? I
an
should
HStack.
start making some clips of my streams more commonly, more more often. It'd be fun and name them certain things if they're particular.
And we're going to start this with the coin.marketCapRank, or sorry, that needs to be in a text property, text, and we need to make this a string, coin.marketCapRank, and you guys notice that now we have access to that property the exact way that we spelled it out with our camel casing, which is nice. And we're going to say .foreground color of .gray here, guys. And then next to that, we're going to create a VStack. The alignment is going to be .leading, and we're going to say text coin.name and text coin.symbol. And then we're going to make the whole font on this .footnote. And we're actually going to bold this guy, so we're going to say .font weight is .semi-bold. So guys, let's go ahead and run our code again and see if our UI is coming to life a little bit, just to
So we got a symbol
spice
already,
this
huh?
up a little bit and make it look nicer. So yeah, that's not looking too bad, right? We do want to capitalize the guy right here, so we can just go here and say coin.symbol.uppercase, and let's give our VStack a little bit of spacing.
Yeah,
I'm thinking maybe 4 pixels, right? So let's go ahead and run this again.
I'm surprised he keeps you doing it with the simulator,
And
not the preview.
Not looking bad. Let's give the HStack a little bit of spacing as well, maybe 12 pixels, and run this one more time. And that should be it for the little UI updates we want to make, right? And later on, guys, like I said, we're going to add all of our coin images and all of that good stuff. But this is looking really good so far, right? All of this information is coming back from our API, and we're displaying it in a list. And the scrolling is really smooth, and everything is looking great. So next up, guys, I want us to get into part 2 of this video, where we're going to be getting into some more in-depth error handling. So let's hop back over to our coin data service.
Let's handle some errors, boys.
What we have with this fetch coins function.
Do it.
So right now, we're literally handling 0. Right?
Oh my god, I got back from the gym today. Yesterday, everything hurts right now. Woo! Chest pain. In the good way, if you know what I mean.
we have this print statement here if
means
our
it's
decode
working.
were to fail, but that's not really good enough, right? Like if you guys were writing this for like a job, or you're writing this in your own application, this is the lazy way of doing things.
I think I made my coffee too strong. I think I need to just add some more water to it to disperse it, make more.
You're just going to say, hey, I'm trying to fetch this data. I don't really care if anything goes wrong. I just want to get data showing up on the screen, which is okay for like just building little mock and practice projects. But when you're building something that's going to go into a production, like an app to the App Store, or you're working for a company, or you're doing a coding interview, you really want to make sure that you dive deep into the depths of error handling, because it's going to save you a lot of time in the long run. And as an interviewer, they want to know that that's the way you code, right? So that if you write code, they know you're going to handle your errors correctly, so that if anyone else comes and looks into your code, they're going to say, okay, hey, I know exactly what's going wrong, when and where it's going wrong. That makes the code a lot easier to work with. So let's go ahead and see how we can start introducing some more in-depth error handling here, guys.
Introduce some errors.
We're going to want to adjust this completion handler. So we're going to want to say, hey, if anything goes wrong, let's execute a completion with an error as well. So in this escaping guy, we are going to go outside of that bracket, the square bracket, and we're going to add an optional error right here. So now one of two things could happen. We could get back an array of coins, or we could get back an error, much like we see here with the stuff that we get back in our completion handler, right? We could get back some data, a response, or an error. So let's go ahead and start this off by handling our error here. Let's comment this line of code out really quickly. So right above the data guard let statement, let's go ahead and say if let error equals error. We can just say completion nil error, just like this. So what we can do is make this guy optional as well, right? Because we may or may not get this back. So basically, if an error happens, we don't get this back. If we get this back, no error happens, right? So we have to make both of these things optional. And then we can just go here and say return. And then guys, if we are good to go, we'll say completion coins, comma nil. So this introduces a small level of error handling, right? Which is a really, really good start. So let's go back to our coins view model and see what that's going to look like now. So you guys are going to notice that we have to update our completion handler here. So I need to say coins error in, and even if I try to build this now, this coins guy is coming back as optional. So we need to make sure that coins is there before we try to use it, right? So I could give it a default value, right? And just say, hey, if there's no coins guy here, just give it a default value of a blank array. That's totally fine. But now let's see if we can get into more of what we want to do with this error, right? So once again, we could add that error message, published var error message.
Ooh, Apple is starting to win. Well, my vote would be Apple, but I actually can't vote on my own poll, so it's up to you guys.
Optional string, and we can say if let error equals error, self.error message equals error dot localized description. And then we can just go here and say return, because we don't even want to bother going to this line of code, right, if there is an error. So we're doing all of this on the main thread, which looks good. Now, guys, we could go back and update our UI once again. And basically all we need to do is say that, hey, if there's an error message, let's show that instead of this list. So there's a couple different ways of doing this. You could wrap this whole thing in a Z stack and do it that way, or you could just give this an overlay. What we're going to do a little later on is actually introduce alert components into this, so it'll display an alert message to the user instead of just this error message, and maybe give them the option to retry the fetch and all of that stuff. So basically, guys, we can just say if let error equals viewModel.error message, we can just say text error, right? And to simulate this error, let's just go back to our coin data service and go to this URL string and maybe say, hey, let's delete that I from the API, and just to make the URL invalid. And you can see here that we're getting our error message coming back. So that's looking pretty good, right? This gives us a way of passing along an error in our completion handler, and we're making this as safe as we can by making
Let me go
both of
back
these
a little bit.
properties
I'll set it again real quick.
But now let's see if we add that error message. If we could go say that, hey, I can update our UI once again. And basically all we need to do is say that, hey, if there's an error message, let's show that instead of this list. So there's a couple different ways of doing this. You could wrap this whole thing in a Z stack and do it that way, or you could just give this an overlay. What we're going to do a little later on is actually introduce alert components into this, so it'll display an alert message to the user instead of just this error message, and maybe give them to option to retry the fetch and all of that stuff. So basically, guys, we can just say if let error equals viewModel.error message, we can just say text error, right? And to simulate this error, let's just go back to our coin data service and go to this URL string and maybe say, hey, let's delete that I from the API, and just to make the URL invalid. And you can see here that we're getting our error message coming back.
Hey, Croco, how to do Z-stack? No, is that a joke? Cause I know how to do Z-stack. Actually, you know what? How to do Z-stack, please. I'm kidding.
So that's looking pretty good, right? This gives us a way of passing along an error in our completion handler, and we're making this as safe as we can by making both of these properties optional. However, this isn't the best way of doing things.
I'm going through this tutorial because there's about to be a revelation at the end here with the async await stuff. So I need to just go through this and see what he's doing, how to handle errors properly. And then, yeah. Started learning Swift, started creating Notes app. Ooh! You've joined the Swift crew, finally. Which consists of a total of 2 people. Me and, cool guy. Is that his name in Discord?
Guys, and why is that? It's because dealing with these 2 optional parameters gets pretty messy, and you have to use an optional.
This is definitely I'm sure of it. This is going to be easier in async
of your completion, where one of the components is nil and one of them is not, and it's just not super robust, right? And lucky for us, Swift has a data type that allows us to make sure we handle success and failure cases when working with completions. So I want us to go over how to introduce that next. So basically, guys, we can let's just copy and paste this function. I'm going to keep all this stuff here for you guys so you can see the different ways of doing things. And let's go and call this fetch coins with result. And basically, guys, what we're going to do is replace this coin and error with this result type. So you can see here that a value that represents either a success or a failure, including an associated value in each case. So basically, this is going to allow us to say, hey, if there's a success, complete with whatever data type you want, and if there's a failure, complete with some sort of error. So we're going to go here and say our success case is going to be an optional set of coins, and we're going to use this opening caret bracket like that, guys, to do this, and then we're going to say error right here.
Hello.
So you guys will notice that because we're using this result type now, we don't actually have to make either of these properties optional. We're completing with this result here, and we're going to see how we can work with that in just a second. Let's actually do that now. So instead of saying completion, nil, and error, we can actually say, hey, completion, and you're going to be able to say dot failure and just pass in that error right there. So we get this dot notation, right? And if you guys want to command click into that.
So wait, completion is just built in, I guess. Oh, no, wait, no, we wrote it there. What am I saying? Literally just, we're creating the power of this failure error in here. An error is error. Error.
Basically, we can.
Anyone ever play DC Universe Online? Anyone?
Either get a success or a failure. And then down here, we're going to see the success case. We're going to say dot success, and we're going to pass in those coins. So you guys noticed that when I do say .success, it recognizes that my result type wants a array of coins when we are successful here, and it wants an error type when we're not. So we can just go ahead here and pass in our coins. And now, guys, this is a significantly more like robust.
Now hold on. So error, this error is here. So when failure happens, if let error equals error, as in if it returns an error, then the failure will take this error and handle it with the completion, and then return, assuming there's a value in the error. Then, otherwise, if make sure coins. Oh yeah, otherwise return out of. And then guard coins equal this, and then handle the success. That is the success. So you put the coins in there. Okay.
Function for our completion handler here, right? Because we're working with this result type, and we have to handle our two potential cases for when something goes wrong or something goes right. Whereas here, this wasn't as concrete, right? We're working with optional data. There's no guarantee that we got a success or a failure. It's all up to us as the programmer to execute it in that way. Whereas now here, we're working with this concrete result type, and that result type can only have one of two potential states, a failure or a success, and then we pass along the associated values or data when either of those cases happen. In the failure case, it's an error, which is this guy right here. In the success case, it's this array of coins, which we have right here. So now let's go ahead and see how we can utilize this in our view model and why it's going to look better and overall be better than the previous way of doing it. So I'm going to go ahead here, guys, and say, let's just remove this stuff or comment it out. So I'm going to say service.fetch coins with result. And now you guys are going to notice my completion type is a result. So I'm going to say result in, and now we are going to be able to do a switch over the result that we get back. So if you guys select this option in your autocomplete window and hit enter, it's going to fill this out for you. So this result type is essentially an enum, guys, and it's going to out for to do a switch over the result that we get back. So if you guys select this option in your autocomplete window and hit enter, it's going to fill this out for you. So this result type is essentially an enum, guys, and it's going to switch over the only two potential cases that we could have on this result. So when we have a success, we know that we have coins. When we have an error or a failure, we know that we have an error data type. So here, now we can say self.coins equals coins. And here we can say self.error message equals error dot localized description. So now, guys, let's go ahead and run this. And we should notice that everything works exactly the same. But like I said, this is a significantly better architecture and a significantly better way of doing this
nasty
stuff.
Purple error.
So it looks like we are on the main background thread still. So let's just go here, guys, and say dispatch queue.main.async and paste that in there. And let's go back to our service and make sure our URL is good to go, just to make sure that our success case is working as well. And we can see here that that looks absolutely beautiful, right, guys? So once again, the benefit of using this result type is it sort of forces us to handle our error situations, right? We have to look at the failure and the success case, and it just makes it a lot more robust and concrete than working with this optional sort of completion setup that we have here. So that gives you guys an insight into some more concrete and robust and professional error handling. Now that we've handled that, guys, I think I want us to start getting into how we can make our service more generic and ultimately start getting into the async await stuff. So we might actually wrap this stuff up with the completion handler stuff here. The main purpose of doing this, doing stuff with completion handlers, which is sort of considered the older way of doing things, is you guys are inevitably going to see this in the professional world, right? a lot of you guys might be wondering, hey, why didn't we just jump straight to async await? And that's because async await is pretty new, and there's no guarantee that a company that you go and work for or a code base that you hop into for whatever the reason may be is going to be up to date with the latest async await technology. So it's very important to understand how completion handlers work. And there's actually a couple more things that I want to wrap up with completion handlers before we move on to async await and continuing on with our networking bootcamp here. So that's what we're going to be doing in the next one, guys. We're going to wrap up all this completion handler stuff, and then we are going to move on to implementing the async await functionality, dependency injections with our services, more generic services, and all of that amazing stuff, and then also fetching images and all that cool stuff as well. So get excited for that, guys. We'll see you there. Peace.
It's funny because I'm just watching these back to back to back, but they're actually separate videos, and I'm just like blazing through them at the moment. I'm just gonna take a mini break here. I just need to trying to figure out. I need to edit something on my live stream, but I don't know how. Oh wait, hold on. Settings. Settings, bruv. Oh, there we go. There we go. No, here we go. I got it. Um, I'm just gonna. Oh, maybe that. Use a different video for my BWV. Let me check this. For my ad spray thing. WVV. Yeah. I need a video for my ads. Not my ads. Fuck my Yes, please. I'd love to have a look at it. Fuck man, I haven't had a look at Aniket's one either yet. I told him I would look at it. I've been so much on my mind recently. I haven't even. And then Discord broke on my phone. It works now, but I couldn't even reply to anyone either. So frustrating. Why are my ats and people's names getting like shortened right now? Oh, you got the new MacBook Pro? Oh my god. Wait, the same one as me then, the M4? M4 Pro? Well, you wouldn't see ads, right? Because you paid for you're a member, right? You better not see ads. That'd be a jip, wouldn't it? That would suck. um defaults here. Save that. Oh, you have premium. Wait. Wait, but would members not get do YouTube members still see ads on live streams? No, YouTube channel members. Oh, you would see ads. Okay. Well, that's good then that you have premium. Premium It's interesting because premium would pay me. Your premium pays me when you don't see an ad. But obviously you get ad free like everywhere, so yeah. Yeah. I know, I've been meaning to get that actually. I need to I've just been so lazy and I'm fine with like for now what I've got. Um okay. Whoa. How okay, what is with why hold on. Why are I'll do this on my Mac here. Why are all my Discord names abbreviated? Yeah, look, like why is it all my names like this? Disable stream. Oh, streamer mode is on. Right. Bro, I don't need Oh, wait, fuck. Hey, the notification didn't come up for that. The hell? Thank you so much. Crocodam, fuck, you're my biggest supporter. Thank you so much. That's awesome. Oh, that's cool. Super stickers. I like that. Can I? How cool would it be if I could pin that message? Wait, what? This is so weird. Okay. This is your fifth. This is your fifth super that you've gifted on a live stream. I'm not sure if I don't think it's the fifth to me, but it just says that it's your fifth. But for some reason, I click. It says let's celebrate. So thanks for sharing your money with us streamers. There's nothing to do with that though. Like I just click it and nothing. It just says let's celebrate. I don't know. Do you see that part? It's a cool sticker though. It's fifth to me, is it? Wait, you've donated to me like super chats 5 times? I thought it was only like 3, wasn't it? And then you became a member though. Huh. Interesting. Well, thank you so much. I mean, if you did, I didn't realize it was 5 times. If that's it says on a live stream. I don't know. But anyway, thank you so much. Why didn't the sound effects go off? That's annoying. Annoying. Well, clearly I don't either unless I swear that it's been 3 and then you've I mean cuz no one else does it, so you'd think I would remember. I'm pretty sure it was 3 and 2 memberships so far that you've donated. So, yeah, I don't know. Brother, it worked. Wait, another month membership. Oh my god. Thank you so much, Crocodam. What the fuck? You're awesome. This is something new. Fuck, man, I seriously I'm not even kidding. I gotta get you some new emotes. I gotta add in some emotes. You know what I'm gonna do? I think I was literally thinking about it earlier before you even came on here. So point is, I'm actually showing you that I was thinking about it. No, no, so what I was gonna say is I'm actually thinking of probably paying someone, like getting someone on Fiverr or Upwork or something to get some emotes for me. Cause I feel like I don't know, I just don't have time. They can probably just get me a bunch ready to go. That I specify that I want. Hey Aniket, I was actually just talking about you. That I haven't looked at your thing yet on Discord. Sorry, man. I know you shared it. Your link. My and I was saying my Discord's been broken like the past day. I'm watching. I'm trying to finish off this video that I need to watch for networking to get into the async await and what the boilerplate looked like before that. Don't look at it. Your community submitted stickers as well. Yeah, dude, I'm so happy for that actually. Um, where should excuse me, where should I put that? Um, you know what? I'll make a new text channel called community requests, and I'll make a new channel as well, members only. I haven't deployed the fix yet. The yet, so I fixed the issue, just haven't deployed it. Oh, okay. I'll look at it when it's done. Yeah, community. Oh yeah. Community submissions could be it. That's good. Oh, speaking of community submissions, actually, can you make polls on Discord? Can you make polls or what? Permissions. Oh yeah, here we go. Ooh, this is gonna be cool. Okay, I have an idea. Ooh, today I plan to do only DSA. What's DSA? Probably should know what that is. I think you can make polls. That'd be good. Um, poll? Oh yeah, create a poll. Nice. Okay, this is just a poll that I already know. I'll organize a proper poll for the community submission for the stickers, but this is just a quick poll that I wanted to actually ask everyone to have input on. What should you'll see it in a second. I'm just doing it on the side here. What should my data structure and algorithms basically essential stuff for the role? Whole algorithms, man. No, I don't want to do that. I want to do it, but I don't want to do it. What should my custom license plate say? Uh, please. Oh wait, is this? It's a poll, but I want custom answers though. How do I do that? Something very annoying. Don't do it unless you have to. I'm not gonna do it. What's a thread? No. I think it must be in a poll. I don't know. Um, please leave your submissions as a message. Duration, 2 weeks. So, okay, that's my first one. So I actually wanted to, um, So my first one's there. I actually wanted to ask everyone like what they think my license plate should say. Like in relation to maybe this stuff, because I'd love to get a coding related license plate. So deploy the fixes. I will give you test account to enter. You don't have to sign in. Okay, that sounds good. Sounds fun. Sounds fun to check it out. Now, Crocodam, you are going to get a special role because you're a member in the Discord. And I should have done this earlier, but you're actually going to get a special role in here. Leave your entries in the subreddit browse, and then let and I'll the next episode. Wait, leave your entries in the subreddit. What does that mean? Who deserves every special role? Yeah, man, he just donated again to me, and he subscribed again for a month. He's the man. Wait, what? What is LWIAY? He deserves every special role. He's gonna get a special role here. Members, roles, reference. Oh. Oh, okay. I don't know I know PewDiePie, but I haven't properly really watched many of his videos. So I wasn't a PewDiePie watcher, to be honest. Ever. Ever. Oh my god. How do I wait, how do I make another what's going on here? Settings? No. Server set. Oh, here we go. Server settings. Is this server settings? Roles. Yeah, here we go. Server tag. Um, Save this. Roles. Yeah. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. So members right now are hackers. No, sorry. Members right now. No, members are hackers, right? Members are hackers, but everyone in Discord is a hacker, but not everyone's a member, obviously. So what I'm thinking is I'm gonna change the name of a membership on YouTube and add a specific role in Discord that corresponds to that name. So I think I'm a huge fan of Watch Dogs. I don't know if any of you guys have played Watch Dogs, but I'm a massive fan of Watch Dogs. Particularly the first one. I feel like that's fair to say. The third one, not so much, but the idea of it is really cool. Unethical hackers for members. Well, here's what let me say what I was gonna suggest. So I'm listed as Watchdog, right? In the that's my role as the like the channel owner or whatever. So I'm thinking members thanks. So I'm thinking members might be DeadSec. Do you guys know what that is? Have you heard of that? The team of hackers in Watch Dogs. So like you could be a general hacker, anyone could be a hacker, right? But DeadSec is a dedicated team of hackers that fight the good fight. I think DeadSec might be the name to go with here. Cuz I was looking for a place to fit in the DeadSec team. And I was like, do I be a DeadSec or What do I? How do I do this? Where do I put it? I think this is where I put it because I want to keep that Watch Dogs theme. I really like it. Okay, cool. I'm glad you like that. So I'm gonna create that now. DedSec Watch Dogs. Just double checking. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Look at that. That's such a cool image as well. Such a fun image. This thing. I wish you could put an image for like the. Oh, maybe I should make one of these the emoji or some one of the available emoji for members. Ooh, that would be cool. Can I do that legally? Can I legally set that up? Please don't come after me, Ubisoft. Please. Look, no one's even gonna know, right? No one's gonna know. How would they know? How would they know? No one would know. Well, it's also a PlayStation game and brother, you sent a membership? Oh my god. You gave it to Enigmatic. Enigmatic got it. I didn't even know he was here. He's been stealth watching this entire time. He's been lurking. Thank you so much, Crocodam. Holy freaking. Hey, did you do that so you weren't lonely? Thank you so much. That's insane. That's insane of you. Yeah, Enigmatic is like always here. Whether I'm pretty sure he's often here whether he's talking or not. What is custom? I don't know. What is that? Wait, you played Minecraft for a week and left it? Oh. Have you ever played Satisfactory? Oh, that's really a PC game to be honest. Well, I only have one role and I don't feel bad. Okay, okay, here, look. You're the first member. What color do you think the DedSec should be? Let me 3050 been never used in 4 months since I bought it. I know, but still. I'm the only one with that role too, so um never used in 4 months. You should use it. You should use it. Honey Kit. Sorry, I'm just gonna add in Discord here for a second. Disc. Disc boys, disc. You can see it there, but I'm just gonna application capture here. Discord. Yeah. So I'm the dark purple, so I won't mix it with that one. Wait, how am I that color? Hold on. Oh yeah, you can choose. I chose that color, I think. Custom color, right? Yeah. So you can have a custom color. You can actually have a custom color here. Um, let's have a look at what's possible here. Is it no fun if it's just like dark or gray? Probably not, right? Not as fun. Afraid I got hooked on games. My DSing web dip will go down. Oblivion. Is that a reference to Oblivion, the game that you actually get stuck in? Yeah. Just invest back in Crocodam as well. Supporting me now. Support him later. Maybe. Oh, Maybe a bright orange? What do you think? I like how it's like obvious, but like slightly muted at the same time. What are your thoughts on this color here? Look, you can see it over here, right? Yeah, you know what? I'll web dev badge. Maybe everyone whoever does what, it'll be more obvious who does what if you have a I don't know if that would work well though. Do you think it would work well? All right, we're gonna go with this color, I think. If it's um, yellow's a bit weird. Green is too basic, I think. I think the color, this orange color with dead set kind of, I don't know, feels good. I think we'll go with that. What do we have here? No, that's ugh. No, that's bad. Terrible. I think that's good. I think it's pretty good. Yeah. Yeah, you're right, Aniket. You're right. Oh yeah, pink. Yeah, that could be good too. Like this, like that pink. That pink. That. What pink do you like the most? That pink? Is that better? That's what it looks like. Hold on, I'll slightly move it. Maybe that's a bit too dark. That's a bit dark, right? You need the brighter pink. Maybe, hold on. That one, right? That one? Yeah. Okay, cool. Sweet. He's gonna be popping now. And so is Enigmatic. I think Enigmatic's in here. So permissions are, um, oh yeah, so I have to go, I'll go back and, hold on, let me just make sure, I think, yeah. Let's go into members here, and then we'll permissions to allow the DedSec role. Ooh, that looks nice. That looks nice. It stands out way more than the other ones. And this is just unrelated. That's not a, that's not a person. So, here we go. There we are. You have a member section, boys. Yeah, that would have been good. That would have been good. I don't know why he didn't, because I mean, to be fair, I don't know I don't know how much Aniket is here compared to Enigmatic, because sometimes obviously Enigmatic is just watching right now. He hasn't said anything. So he's just like in the stream. Oh wait, no, hold on. He's not, maybe he's not in the stream. He just got one, right? Haha, that's nice. Right. So he's not here. I thought it was giving ones to people who are here. That's weird. It should give ones to people that are here, not to people that are not here. But to be fair, Enigmatic is also pretty supportive too. Like, um, he is here often. He is actually here often, and he does chat a lot too. So, yeah. I mean, it did still go to a good person, to be fair, but wait, you can send a membership like that? Did not know that. I'm just gonna turn off Discord again. Okay. Dude, thank you so much. You're so supportive. I really appreciate you. Okay. Man, it was fun to create that members only section. It was fun to create DedSec. Now you're also gonna be called I will change it up. You'll be called DedSec as well on a DedSec member on my YouTube too. So don't just no one go and message Ubisoft please. Because I don't want them to look at me and be like, that fucker is taking our IP. If I had the money, I would make a Watch Dogs 2 and a Watch Dogs 3 that were based on the original game too. Yeah, it's DedSec is a Watch Dogs reference. It's a hacking game that I really love. All right. I have to go to the toilet, guys. So I'll be back. I'm just gonna start the break thing. I think it's gonna play a new video of mine, which you probably haven't seen, but it's not coding related, so it's gonna be um Japan related. Don't go to 3. It's not worth it. Two was decent. 1 was amazing in my opinion, my personal opinion, and 3 was garbage. However, I bought it when it was on sale for like $7 just to, get that nostalgic feel and like properly give it a chance. So, yeah, I don't know. But it's not really worth it. Yeah. 1 is so good. The story is bonkers. I love how good the story is. That was back when Ubisoft did a good job with their new IPs. I love that they made new games as well. It was really nice. New games, new IPs. They tried and they succeeded because they put a lot of work into it. And then whenever they go to do like a second version or a third version, they're trying to milk it and they don't put enough effort into it. So disappointing. All right, I'll be back in a sec. I'm just gonna go to the toilet and I'm gonna grab a drink as well. And I'm gonna start this break. It's probably gonna play a Japanese video. We'll see. I watch Dogs mod. Oh, that's cool. That would have been fun. All right, man. I'll be back soon. I realized that was replaying just then. It was quite a short video. Whoops. I'll be back in just a sec. Actually, I can check up my. I made this for a reason, didn't I? The BRB thing. All right. All right. Alrighty then. Woo. Woo, 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 woo. Oh, my keyboard's off. Okay. I took. Wait, sorry. Did you say you had the M4 or the M4 Pro? Was it just the M4? Oh, M4 Pro. Yeah, Pro. Right. I got just the base 512, the Pro. And then I decided, look, this is what I ordered. I ordered this because I was like, fuck you, Apple. Your freaking storage prices are way too expensive and overpriced. And I got this online. A crucial 2 terabyte, like basically SSD, USB-C SSD. So, and it reads at 1.05 megabytes per second. So, dude, you got this. You can do this. Why do people choose Mac? Um, I don't know. It's just reliable, aesthetically pleasing. Um, Feels premium. Useful? One of the main reasons I get Mac is because it's reliable. I want to go for 1 TB. The prices are way too high, and if I would have gone for more storage, I would have take on EMI. Yeah, yeah. My original one was actually 1 TB, but I was like, fuck that. Yeah, I don't need to buy. I don't need to pay that much again. And so I was like, well, I'm just gonna grab one of these. And if I need to edit something, which I do, I'm just gonna use an external one. And like this was 2 TB for only 180, or I got it for 175. I think it was on sale, and less 5% off of that because I get 5% off discount from Amazon. From my because I work for Amazon, so I got that for like 168 or something like that. For 170, let's say 170 for two terabytes, and it was like 230 or something to go from 512 to 1 TB for 512 extra gigabytes. Like, no, no, Apple, just no, Apple, no. I went for a Mac because I'm starting to go to the editing side, and also programming. macOS is good only for this. Yeah, it's really good for that. Even any type of programming, it's great with. Really good for that. Here in India, the prices are pumped just on brand. Are you serious? Like in Australia, the prices are pretty much just a almost exactly a conversion from the US. That really is annoying if the prices are pumped there. Can you order it from can you order it internationally for a different price? For an exact conversion price, perhaps? Is that a possibility for you? Wait, that would cost a lot in shipping. Oh, that's 3,005. Oh, that's a lot. I mean, that's wait, no, that's hold on, that's normal price though. That's normal price for me here. I mean, it's up to you what you want to do. Like, if you were like, yeah, you don't have to get a Mac. It just depends on what you're doing, what your budget is, everything like that. In my opinion, it's not overpriced for how reliable it is and how nice it looks and how it just works. Usually it just works. I cannot handle another Windows update. Um, Windows update situation. Start and PC would work fine. Yeah, exactly. Literally any works fine, especially for coding, because you're just like typing words. um, Yeah. To get Apple, you gotta work your ass off. Should I call the DevSec channel just DevSec on Discord, or should I call it DevSec members only? Because otherwise, it won't really. I don't know. Does it need to be obvious it's a members channel? I guess it's already going to be locked anyway, right? I would just call it DevSec, I guess. Not members. That's what I thought. Yeah, I'll just call it DevSec. Okay. All right, let's do a bit more watching this video.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back. Hope you are doing well. In this video, we are going to be introducing some more
Sometimes trying to watch all this, taking it all in, it's just too much.
custom error handling, and we're also going to be talking about some of the problems that arise with completion handlers and how we can deal
Like, I don't remember exactly how to set up that whole thing before. I just roughly know what needs to happen.
with those issues. So this custom error handling API we're going to implement is going to carry over into our async.
You missed. Well, I just changed the channel name. I was just something about Discord and I'm watching more of the video now. And I was saying that I can't remember all of the things that come before. Sometimes it's just so much. You know? Sorry, man. Sorry. I feel like it's my fault. Hold on. Let me fuck. Yeah, sorry. So I was just saying I'm watching this more. And sometimes it's like overwhelming a little bit. I don't remember exactly what I'm supposed to do, even what how to do everything before this, but I just kind of roughly know in my head what I need to do. Kinda, so I can get the information if I need it, I guess. Or maybe even come back to this video. Definitely not remembering this whole thing. But I can recognize, I think the point is to be able to recognize stuff when you see it and then be like, oh, how that works like this. How does that work? How does this work? Etc.
Await stuff. This is going to be an integral component of handling errors in your applications, guys. We've done some introductory stuff for error handling, but we definitely want some more custom functionality here to get more in-depth descriptions of what's going on if things go wrong during our networking process. And then to end this video and to end the completion handler module, really, we're going to cover some things that we need to watch out for with completion handlers. So to start this off, guys, let's not waste any time. Let's go to our model folder, and we're going to create a Swift file, and we're going to call this coin API error. So this is an enumeration we're going to create to handle all of the different potential error situations that we could run into. So we're just going to create an enum called coin API error, which is an error. And it's going to inherit from the error type. And we're just going to introduce a couple different scenarios, guys,
Error
or
type.
cases for what could go wrong when we are networking. So first off, we're going to have a case for invalid data. We're going to have a case for JSON parsing failure. And then we are going to have a case
I've actually seen this done before, and I've done a little bit of it. Muscle memory, now you understand it. Yeah, you're right. Exactly. I think maybe that's the point that everyone should understand, actually. You might be onto something there with that statement. Because once you get over that difficulty of realization of certain things, like you just have to learn this, and this is how it's done, almost like learning a regular language, and then you learn the basics. Once you have that down, it's remembering how to do it and just how to recognize it because you've seen it before, right? So you just need the muscle memory because you understand how it works, or roughly how it works, or how it should be laid out. Even if you can't remember how to do it, you just need the memory of doing it again. Okay, good luck. Good luck. You got this.
Failing, so request failed. And we're going to add an associated value here, which is going to be a description. And then we are going to have a case for our request failing, so request failed. And we're going to add an associated value here, which is going to be a description. And then, guys, we are going to say case.
This is definitely new for me, this associated value thing. I've seen it before, but I don't know. I've never really used it, to be honest. So I need to see how he uses it here to make sense. There's an ad coming soon, guys. I'll pause myself when that comes on.
Invalid status code, and we are going to pass in a status code here, which is going to be an integer. So this will happen if we get back like any sort of 404 errors or anything like that.
First breakthrough, I must memorize. Second breakthrough, yeah, and then but then like muscle memory, you gotta like develop that for like then everything, right? After that, so it's like a breakthrough every time you get muscle memory for something new. All right, I'm just gonna pause myself. There's an ad coming, guys. I'm assuming you're all back. That was probably skippable, right? Usually it's skippable, I think, in the middle, right? Damn, I actually hit 2 hours, over 2 hours today. Yeah, there are ads. There are ads, yeah. They're usually skippable though. So it's like, I don't know, 3 seconds come on, or 4 seconds, or 5. 5 max. I don't think it isn't it like 3 seconds then you can skip it? Something like that. I don't know. I guess it depends on what. It might depend on the type of ad. I don't know. So the XP thing is a new leaderboard thing. That YouTube introduced. You have a bunch of XP because you donated. But You get some XP for chatting too. Nice. Apple is winning right now. Where is? Oh wait, hold on. Max XP in the YouTube leaderboard. I don't know what the maximum XP you can get is, but you have 300 exactly, so that seems suspicious. The most active ones get highest XP in chat. Yeah. One is unskippable, and one is for me. Oh, really? Wait, so did you have two ads then? I also like to do that too, to be honest, because I like time is more valuable than money, in my opinion.
We're going to have an invalid status code, and we just pass that along into this enum case. And then we're going to have another case.
What? How are you always coding but you don't know how? Huh?
For unknown error. And we are just going to pass along a generic error here. So if anything goes wrong that wasn't covered by this stuff, we can just pass along in an unknown error. So now, guys, what I want us to do is introduce this custom
Boys, I need a haircut. I need a freaking haircut. Oh yeah, probably. Probably using ChatGPT.
description. And we are going to do a switch statement through this to
Okay,
go through
what is this?
unknown error.
It's heavily AI, like I can't build anything from scratch. Well, you have to learn the basics and then you can build something from scratch. Like anything you make is something built. Like for example, make an integer, make two number variable integer variables, what am I saying? And then make a function that returns both those integers the sum of both those integers, so add them together. Even that's building something.
So
And then display that on the screen.
now, guys, what I want us to do is introduce.
And if that sounded crazy, you need to learn the basics. Exactly. There has to be some suffering. You can't look at AI as the answer. You can't. You know what? AI is the answer, but it's not the answer right now. It will be the answer, but the thing is, when it becomes the answer, it's going to become the answer for everything, and no one's going to have a job. I wholeheartedly believe this. No one is going to have a job in the future. We're going to get back to raising our consciousness and our awareness. Maybe we will have jobs, but it's not going to be a typical job. What we do right now. We're not going to have to do much of any of what we've had to do as society right now. Here comes an ad, boys. 5 seconds. Well, I know Crocodam, you're still here. Was a time when people used to consider me programming God when there was no AI. I'm from a commerce background, so only they used to think that. Ah, okay. Now it's not. Now you're not a god anymore. I built 8 to 9 projects. I built 8 to 9 projects or more. I can build algorithms, but when it comes to, let's say, build a basic website without AI, I kind of lose it. I mean, well, then you need to, I don't know. I mean, you need to look at tutorials or something. That's what I do. You can't use AI. AI won't really help you here. I think you need to use some tutorials. I mean, that's why you're here, right? To get some help with that. If you can do that, if you can build algorithms, you can build projects. That's pretty good, wouldn't you say? If you can't build a basic website without AI, I'm assuming you're using like JavaScript or something. Okay, welcome back. Yeah, like if you build 8 to 9 projects or whatever, that's pretty good. Algorithm's pretty good. And if you're using JavaScript, like I don't know, just look at some tutorials to how to do it. Don't use AI to do it.
This custom description. And we are going to do a switch statement through this to go through each one of these individual cases and add our own customized description to this. So first off, for invalid data, we need to say switch self. We can just say
Well, yeah, I mean that too. That's what I also do that. Use AI to learn. Like say, how would I do this in this situation? That's what I do. Subransu. What's the roadmap to web dev? If I start right now, please tell. I'm stuck in third year, my BTech degree, and I don't know what to do and which coding language to choose. All right, well, number one thing, you got to choose a language, right? Yeah, Aniket, that's right. You have to choose a language. That's the thing first, right? You got to choose what you want to do. If you want to be a web dev, then I feel like that really limits your choices, doesn't it? So then you could, be like, okay, well, I want to do JavaScript or this or whatever. Or if you don't want to do web development, you'd be like, oh, I want to do, you know, what's it called? You know, iOS development or something like I am. Then you could do Swift or, React Native or something. No worries, Nitty. Thanks to them too. The team here at Swift Hacker. Um, yeah. I mean, you just first. I think first things first. You got to choose something, right? You got to choose where to go. I'm more inclined towards data science, to be honest. So, you got any idea about that? Data science. Well, I mean, if if you don't want to do like web development, I'm assuming that's different to data science, right? So, I mean, I don't know much about data science. Yeah, you can do it. Apparently, you can do it in JavaScript. Apparently, Python and R. Oh, right. I see. I know what you're talking about. I actually know what you're talking about. Yeah. Um. There you go. What Crocodam says. Um. Yeah, I remember using R in my degree. I didn't like it. Python though. Python on the other hand wouldn't be too bad, I think. If one knows any one language good enough, they can easily learn other languages. Yeah, true. Although in my opinion that doesn't apply to real life languages like English, Japanese, for example, Spanish. Applies to, you know, scripting. I mean coding.
return invalid data. Pretty straightforward. And this gets a little more interesting. Let's do the JSON parsing guy first. So
yeah, you can. You should do it. Why don't you do Python? Seems like a good language. You should do that. Why are you tossing between Are you tossing between Python and JavaScript or something?
So we can say case.json parsing failure, return failed to parse JSON. And then for the next one, guys, because we have an associated value.
This is freaking good to know. This is such good to know information.
Case let.request failed description, and that is just going to be this guy here.
Wait,
and we are going to
hold on. Case let? Why? Yeah, exactly. Learn Swift here. Swift is so fun. It's so fun. So fun.
a return.
Okay, why is this a let?
Associated value.
I mean, I'm always pulling up resources for Swift learning, so
That's coupled with this, we are going to say case let.request failed description. Coupled with this, and then for the next one, guys, because we have an associated value that's coupled with this, we are going to say case let.request failed description, and that is just going to be this guy here. And we are going to say return request, failed.
okay, I don't know how this works.
Pass along that description. And we're going to do the same thing for our invalid status code. Just like this, and we'll say invalid status code.
Bro, the answer is, I promise you, the answer is, which one do you like more? Which one do you enjoy writing in more? Here's the thing, don't consider external factors when you're deciding this. I found this out to be the successful deciding factor. Choose what you really love to do, and if you find that's the right thing that you need to do. In my opinion. That's my opinion where I'm finding success. That's what I did. Even success on this YouTube channel. Like I'm doing what I love. I absolutely love doing this. And I've chosen Swift because I love it, and it keeps me able to continue studying all the time. That's my non-technical answer for what you should choose. I often go with the hard on things, so, but it's worked for me. I think it works for a lot of people if you go with what you love doing, you know?
Pass along our status code. And then for our unknown error, guys, we're going to say case let.unknown error. Return an unknown error occurred.
Then why don't you focus on designing then instead of coding? Why are you trying to code when you could design? You know? I'm assuming designing like as in outside of coding, like before, like designing the app or website or whatever before your, you know, different though. We'd have to choose what's trending in the market. If you go with what you love, oh really? Wait, but no, that's well, okay. That's interesting. You know, in my opinion, based on, I'm not saying you're wrong here, by the way, but what I am saying is based on what I've learned through a lot of different sources, some based in factual earthly stuff and some not. It seems like if you do follow what you love as passionately as possible, because you automatically have the passion for it, you end up automatically succeeding no matter what happens, no matter what situation you're in. So I find it interesting that maybe again, I'm not saying you're wrong, but maybe the mindset of having that where you have to choose something trending in the market, otherwise you're going to fail, is holding people back. Just a thought. Because, inevitably people because lots of people do this thing where they like say they're gonna do the thing that they love, but they don't actually. The thing that they love isn't actually what they really love, but it's kind of like, I'm gonna do this because I think it's better than the alternative, and maybe it's gonna make more money, or they hope it does, but then it doesn't because it's not actually what they love. Hey, but here's the thing: Crocodam is learning Swift now, so wink, wink. He's gonna be joining us in the dev world soon. Well, here's the thing. It's probably not gonna be easy. And again, even in my situation, it's not easy. Like I'm kind of doing this on I don't know, my spare time. Like technically I should be doing something else, but I'm kind of, wanting to focus on this. And I have to do Uber Eats and Amazon delivery on the side. Like I'm not fully supported definitely by this or the job yet. And I don't even have a job yet in it, but I'm learning it and hopefully it's going to succeed. But there seems to be a big success of doing this, like YouTubing on the side of like like literally what I love doing here. So that it's weird that is working out when I've done stuff in the past where I thought I loved it, but it actually wasn't my true love. Like YouTubing for another like reason, I guess, like just making videos and stuff. I think doing the action that I love kind of got me to this point, which is interesting. I look at things a lot differently to a lot of people. So I don't know, like I don't know what to say, to be honest. Like you either yeah, I don't really know what to say because I feel like my views differ a lot from a lot of people. So, if you know what I mean. Mm, yeah. 2 to 3 months and start looking. Yeah. Can you do it in 2 to 3 months? Damn, man. You're gonna be you're insane if you can do that. That's gonna be awesome.
Error.localized description. So this is going to be the foundation for our custom error handling, guys. Let's go ahead and hop back into our coin data service class just to see how we can initial or actually use this stuff. So right now our error handling is pretty simple, right? So what we can do is replace this generic error that we have here, guys, with like our coin API
Nice.
error. So because that inherits from the error type, it's going to be good to go. So
hold on. Don't distract me. Hold on. Don't distract me right
is,
now.
replace this generic error that we have here, guys, with like our coin API error. So because that inherits from the error type, it's going to be good to go. So now we can go through each one of these situations like we did down here with our HTTP response and our status code and our data parsing and all of that stuff, and really introduce this more in-depth error handling here. So first thing I want us to do is go ahead and grab these two things.
Wait. Which came first, his resume or the job? Oh, wait a second. Is this a parallax? Is this a infinity loop or something?
The HTTP responses that we were looking at. And let's go ahead and paste this in here. And and all of them here with our HTTP. That inherits from the error type, it's going to be good to go. So now we can go through each one of these situations.
Uh, Yo, wait, what does that mean?
Like we did down here with our HTTP response and our status code and our data parsing and all of that stuff, and really introduce this more in-depth error handling here. So first thing I want us to do is go ahead and grab these two things, the HTTP responses that we were looking at. And let's go ahead and paste this in here. And oops, not there. Paste it in here rather. And you guys will notice here that instead of just saying print or like self.error message is equal to that, now we can say completion.failure, and it's going to ask us to supply with a coin API failure. And this guy is going to correspond to a failed response. So now you guys will notice that I'll be able to say request failed here, right? And we can just print like request failed.
Oh, that's cool.
And
Okay.
next up, we can go ahead and use our status code message here, right? So I can go here and say completion.failure, and we could say .invalid status code. And I can now pass in my HTTP response.status code, right?
Wait, that sucks actually. Yeah, you should do both. Why not?
Cool, cool, cool. And guys, here, if the data is bad, then you might have been able to guess it. I can just go and say completion.failure.invalid data and return there. And then if this goes wrong, I could introduce my JSON parsing error. But I actually want us to introduce a do catch here. So you guys remember we had this
The system is broken here too in Australia. Like if you know someone, usually you can get a job. Usually.
try statement. Anytime you have a try statement, you can introduce a do catch block. And I'm going to explain that briefly here. So go ahead and say do and then catch. So we are going to say let coins. So just go ahead and copy and paste this. Let coins all the way before the else keyword and paste it in there like this. And we're going to remove that optional try. And then we are going to say catch. Oh, guys, we need to go here and
Mic drop. Amazon, bitch.
say completion dot.
Oh, thanks. I hope you enjoyed chatting with everyone. There, we have such a helpful group of people in here. It's honestly so great. Feel free to join the Discord, by the way. The link should be in the description. Toasted.
Success coins in the do
Roasted,
block.
you mean?
And guys, what happens in the catch block is when things go wrong. So In the do statement, it's going to try to execute this stuff, right? Which is why we have that try keyword here. And if something goes wrong, it's going to hit this catch block and it's going to say, hey, something went wrong during this process. And we know because we're trying to decode something that our decode would have failed. So we can just say throw, or rather we can say completion, sorry, dot failure, dot JSON parsing failure. And let's just go ahead and add a print statement here. Debug failed to decode with error. Error. And you guys will notice that we get access to an error inside of this catch block, and that's because Swift implicitly does this for us. We say catch let error, so if the error happens, we have access to it right here. Swift actually doesn't make us type that. Because we're inside of a catch block, we get access to the error with what went wrong. And the reason I'm adding a print statement here, guys, is because we, as a developer, we would want to know what went wrong with the decode, but we don't necessarily want to display that to the user, right? Because that's not going to make any sense to them. So here we could just print this out sort of privately so that we can know what's going wrong, and the user, we could just decide what we want to say to them if the JSON parsing fails. And we're going to get into the alert component in a little bit. So this is a much more robust error handling system now, right? So you guys will notice here that we have to pass in like a, sorry guys, in the if let error statement.
I feel like I'm definitely not equipped to answer that question. Unfortunately. Harsh. Hope maybe one of the guys in here can answer that. Oh, thank you guys for the subscription, by the way. Got 3 more subscribers. Oh wait, 3? Wait, did we? Hold on, wait. Yeah, we did. 3 more subscribers. Wow. We're at 1,096. We're so many. Got almost 100 more than when we got to our 1K. John's gonna turn Indian in a few days. Yeah. Yeah. All my information needs to come from India now as well. I gotta know the Indian market.
When this error, guys, comes back to us, we can say dot unknown and pass along that error here. So that looks good. If you guys heard airplanes just now, I literally think the president was just flying over that unknown, guys. You guys will notice here that we have to pass in like a, sorry guys, in the if let error statement. When this error, guys, comes back to us, we can say dot unknown and pass along that error here. So that looks good. If you guys heard airplanes just now, I literally think the president was just flying over my house. It looks like a bunch of military airplanes, which is pretty cool. But anyway, guys, like I was saying before, this is a much more in-depth error handling system, right? We know that we could have all of these different potential errors, and we're handling each individual thing and getting some sort of custom description along with that. So this is going to carry over into our next module with the async await stuff, guys. I just really wanted to introduce that to you here. And this is a much more, like I said, robust error handling system that you can really drag and drop into any one of your projects.
Oh, does it? Hold on, I'll have a look real quick. Let me see. Analytics. Oh. Audience. Subscribers. Uh, 70% from India. It shows viewers by geography, not subs. Oh, maybe. Hold on. No, no. It does. Oh, it shows where my subscribers are coming from, not where they are. I guess I don't. Maybe it's just kind of the same thing, but if you know what I mean. So we got. Wow, we have. Hold on, I'll click live to be more. Yeah, yeah, okay. Overall, it's actually mostly from the US, which is 17.5%. Then India's second at 10.3, and then Australia after that 4.8. But um, if we go into live, India is 16.4%, and then the United States is next at 13.7%. So it's mostly India that is subscribing or seeing my videos. But it's probably honestly because oh wow, and it's 100% males as well, 100% guys. most Generally most guys are I think in terms of all my videos mostly guys. So that's because I'm in tech. Women are not really ever in tech. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, Daniel. We're against AI. Sorry, bros. Be purged unless you're trying to learn. Yeah. Yeah, I mean I always use it to learn. I do always use it to learn. Oh, I think this metric has gone up. Watch time from subscribers. We got returning. Yo, wait. Wait, hold on. Is this? Okay, hold on. In the last week, we've had almost 300 returning viewers. That's insane. That's like pretty much the amount of people that joined um my channel when I swapped to Swift coding, which is crazy. In the last month, it's been almost 1,000 returning viewers, which is crazy. Just Firebase, just use Firebase Studio, bro. It's not bad, right? I that would have never been what my channel was like before I swapped to coding. Like I'm telling you, doing what you love, you start to succeed. What are we on? What are we on here? Ramon, Raymond. Hey John, what is your overall goal? Are you trying to get a job as a developer, or are you just learning for fun? I'm trying to get a job as a developer. Yes, you are right. That's why the title of my video is learning to code so I can get a junior developer job or succeed in freelancing at least to start, you know? I am going to be applying, or I'm going to set myself sorry, okay. I'll be applying to jobs at the end of this month as like to be an intern because I don't expect I can actually get a job. Maybe I can, but I don't think I can. And then I'll be setting myself up as a freelancer too. Did you just see the video that I was like had coding on the screen and then you're like, "Oh, I got to click that." Doesn't read anything. Um my background's weird, man. My background is marine biology. Yeah, literally disturbing. Yeah, well, I will. I'm trying to I honestly, it's July 24th. I don't hopefully I can finish like at least two projects by then or maybe even three by the end of the month or maybe like a week into next month, which would be nice. Block chat. That's it. I'm gonna block all of you. I only see a wall and no marine biology. Well, that's because I have denounced that topic No, I haven't. I have actually have a business that runs. If you look at my channel, I actually have my website connected and my my products are connected, and it's totally completely unrelated from this. Um, but I made the company. It's a good cause. What I wanted to do with it. Um, but yeah, I'm still trying to make that succeed. So I do need some time the next few months to try and do that. I did. I mean, I didn't build it from scratch, but I made it. You can if you really want to. I mean, if you go diving or snorkeling at all, my product will actually benefit you if you want to. I should I need to make some other product that would go like merch or something that would go with my theme now, though. Uh Nothing special. I used fourth wall to make it. Fair enough. I'm not I mean, just wear it on land, you know. Be visiting anyone sometime maybe then. Yeah. Yeah, why not? If you like the designs, it's a good cause. Like the money at the moment, it's split a little bit with my artist. Um, the purpose of it is to I've got a couple purposes of the company, a business. It's not a company technically, it's a business. Um, for Australian rules standards. Um, so it gives back to up and coming artists, and at the same time lets them display their art to the I guess anyone who wants to buy this type of thing, or and obviously it's displayed on their product, their item that they bought. And then also in the future, if it was successful, I would expand the lineup to different products. I'm hoping to get another product in there sometime soon. It's also diving related. Oh, really? Thanks, man. I appreciate that. I can bring it up if you all want to have a look at it real quick. Flamingo Fin's website. This is my website. I sell these things here, these designs. My first official artist is actually my sister, which works really well when I'm trying to organize new designs. But she is actually an artist, as you can tell. These are quite good in my opinion. Um, and yeah, a bit of the money goes back to her. And yeah, I've just upgraded to a more sustainable. The point is to get more sustainable diving related products on the market instead of all these unnecessary neoprene stuff, like just pure petrol related neoprene. I don't. No, I don't, but I force my manufacturer to use eco-friendly material. I just got him to use that. I forced him to buy it for me and was like, "Bro, I'm going to buy this. Please get it for me, please. Thank you. Thank you very much." And they ordered it, and I got it. So, now when you look at the mass tamers here, so the I have version 1.0 is a normal neoprene one, and they're still fine, and but they're good. They're still good quality, and they're still fine. It's just that they are. I had to start with something, right? So they're technically not um eco-friendly in the actual product, but the 2.0 is. It's much better. It's a bit bigger, wider, um, updated designs. We are trying to get the other designs on these ones too, but we've started with these ones, and yeah, it's stretchier. It's eco-friendly. It's made of limestone. Should advertise. Well, yeah, I mean, it's hard to advertise when no one knows what it is, if that makes sense. I mean, maybe that's the point of advertising, right? But the marketing is the problem. I get it. The marketing is the problem. It is. It is the problem. um, but like I need to have a proper plan set up to market. video in BRB from it's from members only videos. Wait, what? Oh, is it? No, wait, no, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. Is it? No, 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 no. I swear that one's no, because it's edited. No, it's not. Wait, no, no, no. Hold on. Hold on. I'm looking. Software developer by completing a SaaS project. Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. As long as I can finish something right and show what I can do, I think that's important. Bro, I made so many vlogs. Oh my god. Wait, that I don't. I'm pretty sure that that video. Oh no. Wait, no, it's not in the member section. It's not. Yeah, there are definitely similar videos in there. But this one is not in the members one. So don't worry, I didn't sell you out there. Did you end up watching all the I'm in the process of getting more in there. Um Everything's just been delayed because my laptop got fucked up the other week. And obviously I've had so much random shit that I've had to do these past few weeks that I haven't been able to get some new stuff out. And also my iCloud was fucking up as well. So I didn't have and yeah. So just everything's been going wrong in the past 2 weeks and I haven't had a chance to like get some new stuff on. I'm glad you watched them. I hope you enjoyed them. There will be more. There is more coming. I have a ton of more stuff to come out. Tons of stuff. You've got a lot of content coming. I'm not even kidding. You're not going to be able to handle it. Anyway, yeah, I have some shirts and stuff as well. If you guys like the designs, feel free to grab a shirt that has the design on it. I mean, I've only put the whale shark because so many people are interested in it. This is my logo. But yeah, I've got a bag as well that I put on with the whale shark too. I thought this bag was pretty cool. It's organic cotton too. So I've got a bag, I've got a shirt, and for now one shirt, with 3 selected colors that I thought would look good. And yeah, the main product is the mass tamer. We'll see where we go with that. Oh, thank you, brother. That's awesome, man. Your support is so awesome, so helpful. This is a crochet business. I created WordPress. Oh, that's cool. How's she doing with that? Is she doing well?
Projects. This is pretty standard for all networking layers that you're going to have in your code. And you could, just go to this coin API error guy and add or remove things as you see fit. That's what's nice about utilizing this as an enumeration. So next up, guys, what I want us to cover is a potential problem that we can have with completion handlers. And this is going to tie into the concept of retain cycles. So let me just show you guys something that you are going to see used.
And I've never heard this term before in my life.
Quite a bit when working.
She never needs the website. Most of the customers come from Instagram, Facebook. Oh, really? Okay. Maybe I should list my stuff on Marketplace. Why haven't I done that? I have it on Etsy. That's actually genius. Why have I not done that? I've done it on Instagram though, but I don't really get many. Um I have to put I have to become like I kind of have to become an influencer in the field, which is funny because I'm kind of now a baby influencer in this field. But this honestly like they're both passions of mine, but like this is what I mean. This is what I mean about the passion thing, like doing what you love. I love this so much more. I can feel it way more than what I'm doing with the marine stuff. My flamingo fins. Even though I really love flamingo fins, I love the idea of it. I love it working and helping the system, the situation. But like doing it, I wasn't as successful because in reality, I think I just wasn't into it as much as I am this. So I mean, I feel like it's pretty obvious. Like I literally stream this almost every day,
with completion handlers. So in this
or I'm pretty much looking at this every day, like coding stuff.
guy right here, where we are getting back the completion from our service, you're oftentimes going to see this notation here, brackets, and you're going to have weak self inside of
All right, we're gonna finish this section. Then I'm gonna have to take a break.
it. And what this is going to do is make
Quick
all
shorts on YouTube and post the same. Yeah, yeah. I'm in the process. I just found a winning sort of setup template thing to start posting my videos. If you want to have a look, you can't. I just realized an ad got inserted there, so no one else can hear me except you, Croco. But if you want to look at my Flamingo Fins YouTube, there's a video on there about how not to swim with sharks, how not to swim with manta rays or whatever like that. People eat that shit up, that type of video. So that's the type I'm gonna go with, because that's the ones that get popular.
references that you have to self inside of this completion block. And in this case, guys, self refers to
I gotta go back.
this guy right here, where we are getting back the completion from our service. You're oftentimes going to see this notation here, brackets, and you're going to have weak self inside of it. And what this is going to do is make all references that you have to self inside of this completion block, and in this case, guys, self referring to weak self inside of it. And what this is going to do is make all references that you have to self inside of this completion block, and in this case, guys, self refers to our coin view model. That's why we say self.coins, and it refers to this property here because it's contained within this class. So here self is referring to class, the coin view model. So you guys are going to notice that now I have to add optional chaining here. I have to say self.question mark, and that's because now we have created a weak reference to ourself instead of having a strong reference to ourself. And if you guys tried to remove self altogether, you would get an error and saying, hey, you're inside of a completion handler or a self-contained block of code. You need to add self here in order to clarify what you're referencing. So you always, whenever referencing like class level properties, guys, you have to say self when inside of a completion handler. And this sort of ties into the whole concept of escaping. So you guys remember here that we have this
No. Keep explaining the weak self. Scared of waters and heights, so I know how to stay away from sharks. Just don't go deep waters. Dude, it's not just deep waters. I hate to break it to you. Hate to break it to you. It is also shallow waters. Especially in certain countries like um probably India, for example. Um and Maldives, Sri Lanka.
escaping keyword, just to touch on
Sharks, honestly, they can be anywhere. But here's the thing, they're not always dangerous. I mean, in deep water, yeah, they're gonna probably be a bit dangerous. Sorry. Here's the thing. I just want you to be aware that there could be a shark there. So that you should, take care rather than like assuming that there's not going to be a shark there. I've seen sharks like usually baby sharks, but I've seen them in pretty shallow water, so I love heights too, but I'm so scared. I'm the same. I love it, but I'm so scared. I love being I wish I could just fly. Honestly, look, if we're being real, I wish I had all of Superman's powers. Ideal.
that briefly. It's basically saying that we want this property
That was not my tip. Tip yourself with that one. You don't want to, dude. Diving it's a totally different world. You should try it. It's wonderful down there. And when you're down there, sharks don't care about you. It's actually when you're above water is when they care. When they're like, "Hmm, that leg looks kind of tasty." No, they don't think that. They actually the here's okay, quick lesson on sharks. Quick short shark lesson about how they attack. Every every single attack on a human, except for maybe the one exception of a tiger shark specifically, which are nicknamed the garbage cans of the ocean. Every attack is almost always like 99% an accident if they hit you, if they attack you. Um but the reason why it does and can and does happen, I don't know. The reason why is because sharks have very poor eyesight, and they use their the electromagnetic sensors in their nose, unlike under their nose, to detect movement and prey, like weak prey. So if they detect like a rapid moving thing like a fish, usually it's a fish, um they'll like they'll think like, "Oh my god, there's a fish. I'm hungry. I'm going to go straight towards this thing that seems like a fish." Kinda. It's not quite sonar as it is much like receiving. Well, I don't know. Maybe kinda like a sonar, but it's different. It's like an electromagnetic version of a sonar, I suppose, if that exists. And then so they'll charge toward the thing that they think is a fish, and then if in some scenarios they like when they get close, imagine this is your leg and this is the shark. In some scenarios, they'll be able to get here. They'll when they get to this point, they'll be able to see the leg at that point and realize, okay, that's actually not a fish. Let me just like veer off real quickly or turn around. Even those But the thing about sharks is, especially bigger ones, they're already going at such a speed that they don't realize they've hit a shark. I mean, they've hit your leg instead of a fish until they've already hit your leg. But as soon as they realize it's not a fish, they 99% of the time they let go and they swim away. So, yes, it can happen. The bites can happen. That's how people die sometimes. Um, but generally they're not out to attack you, and that's why diving is such a nice way to get to know sharks, because they're not there to get you, and they're usually going like from below up. That's their attack method. So if you're standing and your legs like here and they're below, they're gonna go like wow like that. Or if you're yeah, they have a foot fetish. Yeah, just don't have feet. So if you're on like a surfboard, that's an ideal point for them to attack. Um, but diving, when you're below, when they're on level with you, they don't attack. When they're on level with whatever they're seeing, they don't attack. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, turning it upside down turns it into like a plushie or something, a rough plushie. They can't move. So what I'm just saying is like be aware that there can be sharks anywhere, and also diving is a great opportunity to see sharks without needing to be afraid of them. Just take care though when you're. Don't be stupid, you know. That's basically the mission. That's basically the thing you take away from that. Turn the shark from his nose. Yeah, you if you turn the shark, yeah, like you can turn a shark, but like, do you really want to risk your hand going there right where the mouth is? What if you miss and then you just go into the mouth? Things can be distorted underwater. Anyway, can we finish this?
that we are executing the completion on to be able to
Fair enough. Who is that? Nick Vujicic?
escape this particular block, right? So if we go back to our coin view model, this is treated as a self-contained or separate block of code. And if we want to utilize this result in any way, we need to make this an escaping closure so that we can say, hey, the properties that we're getting back inside of this block can exit this block and update things that exist outside of it. So this block is literally like its own little self-contained piece of code, guys. And now we're going to get into why we need to add weak self to this in order to be as safe as possible.
Finally, weak self. Thank you.
And the reason for that is because if you don't, you
Hold on,
can
I
end
will.
up
Hold
with
on.
something called a retain cycle. And I'm just going to do a brief introduction or like a brief explanation of what a retain cycle is. So I have this diagram here to help us understand this concept. So
let me get this weak self concept down.
Objects A and B in this app we're creating. In our case,
What fetish creature?
Object A refers to our coin's view model, and object B is referred to by this block of code that we have here. And in this situation, Object A has a strong reference to Object B, and Object B has a strong reference back to Object A. So this creates a cycle where both objects keep each other alive in memory, even when they're no longer leaded. So in programming, this situation is analogous to two people holding hands and never letting go, even when they should move on. This can lead to wasted memory and unexpected behavior in your application.
Okay.
So basically, guys,
what a reference.
When we try to destroy Object A, i.e. it's no longer needed, we either close out the app or we go to a different screen or whatever it may be. If we have this retain cycle here, and they both have strong references to one another, they can never actually be destroyed. They're held onto in memory forever. And that's because when we destroy Object A, it has a strong reference to Object B, but when we try to destroy Object B, it still has a strong reference back over to Object A. So it ends in this infinite loop of holding on to one another, like those two people we just talked about holding hands. So let's talk about strong references really quick, weak references, and then discuss how weak self helps us solve this problem. This is an extremely important concept to understand, guys.
My headphones kind of like slippery. Am I sweating?
This question gets asked in interviews all the time, and it's very important to understand when working with completion handlers and retain cycles in general. So strong references. By default, when you create a reference from one object to another in Swift, it's a strong reference. So for example, if when I'm in this references, when working with completion handlers and retain cycles in general. So strong references. By default, when you create a reference from one object to another in Swift, it's a strong reference. So for example, if when I'm in this completion block here, guys, and I don't have weak self, right? And I say self.coins and self.error message. This is treated as a strong reference, even though this is sort of like a child object that's part of this coins view model class, right? So right now, these are treated as strong references. So I have a reference from A to B because this block here is contained within my object A, which is my coins class. And then I have a strong reference from object B back up to my parent class, right? When I say self here, and self refers to the coins class or object A in our diagram, and these are properties that are associated with object A. So it means that as long as any object holds a strong reference to another object, that second object won't be deallocated. So a weak reference, on the other hand, doesn't keep a strong hold on the object it refers to. If the object it refers to is deallocated elsewhere, the weak reference automatically becomes nil or gets wiped out as well. So we will never end up in a situation if we use weak references here where coins view model gets deallocated, but this block does not. And that's why we use this weak self guy, okay? And then that's why you'll notice that when I try to reference self now, I have to make it optional because it's treated as a weak reference. So in iOS development, that's what we often do. We use weak self inside closures like these completion handlers to avoid strong reference cycles. When an object like a view or a view model uses a closure, for example, to handle some asynchronous task, which is what we're doing here with fetching our data from a service, you might need to reference self inside that closure, which is what we do here because we ultimately want to take this stuff and give it and update these properties here so we can update our UI. However, using a strong reference to self in closure could create this retain cycle where both objects hold on to each other infinitely and can never be destroyed, which causes memory leaks and poor performance. So you use weak self to make a weak reference to self inside of the closure, which is what we are doing here. This means that if the closure lives longer than the object, which is possible, right? That's when this can go wrong. If this closure for some reason lives longer than our coin's view model. So for example, guys, let's imagine I launch my app and let's see, where is it? Right here. Or this is my completed version, right? So here I'm fetching details for a coin, which is something we're going to introduce later on. But let's imagine that I just go to the screen and go back from it really, really fast. If the information that comes back from that API call that would get executed inside of a completion handler like this might hang around even though we've dismissed that screen. So in that situation, the block here or the closure might technically live longer than the original object or the parent object. And in that situation, that's when you get that sort of retain cycle if you don't use a weak reference to the self. So when utilizing the weak reference, whenever our parent object gets deallocated in memory, i.e. we go to a screen and then exit that screen, or we kill the application like this, right? Then that helps us to guarantee that we won't create that retain cycle. So in a nutshell, weak self is a mechanism to prevent strong reference retain cycles and memory leaks when working with closures in iOS development. So this is something that you're always going to want to do when working with completion handlers, guys. I hope that explanation makes sense. If not, there's some more information that you can look up online in regards to retain cycles in Swift. And it's just a concept that is important to understand, especially when interviewing and writing code that involves completion handlers. And retain cycles don't necessarily have to happen in completion handlers. They can happen anywhere in a project where you have things that are referencing each other, right? So it's an important concept to understand overall, and that's my breakdown of it. Hope that made sense to you guys. But, in the next module, we're thankfully not going to have to deal with closures because we're going to be utilizing async await, which is going to be so awesome. And we're going to see why this is a much better API for networking than is this previous setup with using completion handlers. But like I said, nonetheless, it is very important to understand this stuff just because it helps us understand certain concepts in coding that are very important, like these retain cycles that we see here. And is also important for things like interviewing and helps an interviewer understand that you understand these complex sort of concepts that arise in programming with networking and stuff like that. So thanks for watching this one, guys. I know that was a little bit of a long-winded explanation, but it's important. Like
Jesus
I said over and over again, it's an important concept to understand. In the next video, in the next module, we are going to be refactoring all of this code to utilize async await, and that's going to be a lot of fun. So we'll see you there. Peace out.
Holy mother. Okay. So that, I didn't quite grasp everything he was saying there, so I'm definitely going to have to look this up later. Retain cycles and stuff, weak self stuff, understanding that. But async await, see, we don't have to deal with completion handlers. Fuck completion handlers. Yes. Yes. Let's do it, or let's not do it. Alright, guys. Oh man, what was I supposed to look up? Something. Oh, a guy with no arms. Without arms or legs. What was the reference for that you said? Oh, right, that was, yeah, okay. That's dark. Nah, he's well, that's good. He's got armor. He's not attackable. He doesn't have the things that he can be attacked with. Oh man, why? Yeah, if anyone wants to join the Discord, feel free. You guys can definitely chat in there when I end the stream because I do have to end it soon. Um, I have to go, unfortunately, and do some Uber Eats, which is fine. I do enjoy the job. I just enjoy this more. I wish I could do it longer. I wish I could do it all day. That would be awesome. But alas, I cannot because I have to pay bills and it doesn't quite pay enough. Although we're getting there thanks to Crocodam. Thank you so much, man, for your support today. And your donations. Really, really appreciate it. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to head off, guys. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming in, chatting. It was great to chat with you all. Thank you, man. Thank you. Please enjoy with. I believe Enigmatic is in the Discord, so enjoy your new Discord dev section. I'll chat with you in it there as well. You're not gonna be alone. So yeah, he's definitely the MVP. Um, what else? I won't. Tomorrow's Friday, so I won't be streaming because it's my day off of streaming, and Sunday is also my day off. Um, but I'll be back on Saturday. Not sure what time yet. There's still something happening in my life with my car situation, the scratch thing that I have to deal with. So I'll probably see if I can deal with that today and tomorrow. But yeah, probably hopefully in the morning Saturday, and if possible a nighttime stream on Saturday too would be cool. Yeah. Okay, cool. Sounds good. Sounds good, guys. I'll see you also in the Discord regardless. Um, and yeah, once everything sorts out that I don't have to do anymore in my life, and I can just do this and work, I'll be able to organize a few more things for the stream. So yeah, thanks, guys. Thank you again. Talk to you all soon. Bye.